So the next topic that we're gonna kind of go over is the surprise teams that have a chance to go into the playoffs. We've seen a lot of surprising teams, a lot of standout. I mean, we have the Seahawks on top of the NFC West. We have the Giants that have completely turned it around with Dable. Even the Jets, another team in New York. We have they're playing, they're running the ball well. Their defense is playing great. Salah just has everybody playing great. And of course, one of their division rivals, the Dolphins. And it seems like they're going all in and they're trying to just turn everything around and they're just trying to, kind of pull what the Rams did in a sense with getting a Jeff Wilson and getting a Bradley Chubb and a pass rusher, trying to help out that defense a little bit. And yeah, so I mean, which teams would you really kind of put your money on to get into the playoffs this year?
Well, I would say I think all these teams have a shot. I think if we start with the AFC, right? We have two NFC teams, two AFC teams on here. I think the Jets are a tough one because the AFC is so strong. The Jets have been playing well, and I think it's a great story. They're probably the team that I could see missing the playoffs the easiest. One, they have to keep up their level of play after we saw the big injury to Brees Hall. We know they got James Robinson, as we just talked about, but is
He's
that the same
also,
thing? I
yeah,
don't think so, right? And the Jets just kind of have a history of finding ways to struggle. I mean, they might get all the way there. Last game of the year, they need the game and blow it or something like that.
right.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
Jets
it's it's
fashion.
it's tough for the Jets. Um, the Dolphins, also in the AFC, but I think you know, in terms of making the playoffs, they're probably middle of the pack chances of these teams because they're in the AFC in terms of making a playoff run. I think if they make it to the playoffs, they have
They
as good
have
a
a
shot as
potential.
anyone to make a playoff run with the way their offense has been clicking, with the recent addition of Bradley Chubb, with the coaching of Mike McDaniels over there. He's been doing a great job this year. Really has his guys playing well. We've talked about other teams like the Chargers using analytics, and sometimes to their detriment. He's able to be a young guy using analytics, but using it to his benefit and really getting his team to play well, and taking a look at what numbers mean, and capitalizing on those opportunities without it letting it dictate too much for him to make the wrong decisions. So yeah, the Dolphins probably the most prime team to make a deep run if they make it.
Right.
On the NFC side, though, I think the Giants and Seahawks, both pretty good chances to make the playoffs this year. The down year for the NFC, kind of, almost anybody's game with how the disappointing play of like teams like the Bucks and the Packers, right? Teams that we expected to be the top tier teams in the NFC, they're down this year. We know we have three wild card spots as well. So a lot of opportunity for these other teams to sneak in there and grab
Yeah.
a spot. I don't see the play of either of them like declining, so to say. I don't think these guys are world beaters, but I think they're able to find ways to get some crucial wins. I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams end up double digit wins this year with just how they played so far, and now looking ahead at their future schedules. And I think with double digit wins, yeah, pretty good chance that they're going to sneak in and grab one of those wild card spots, each of them.
Yeah.
How far they go from there is another story. Just like they can easily get into the playoffs, they could easily be knocked off by a number of teams.
Yeah.
So that'll be the issue with them.
Yeah, I think we'll see what kind of pans out with them. I think out of those teams, I think the Seahawks, with their situation given, like with their given situation now, where they're on top of the division, don't really know what's going on with the Rams. It seems like they're still struggling, which is kind of odd considering that it's kind of it's kind of late in the season.
Mhm.
Same thing with the Niners. The Niners show one week that they're completely dominant, then the next week that they're beatable, and it's like, what's going on? They got McCaffrey, so maybe that'll help out a lot. You saw it happen last week. Um, but yeah, I think the Giants also they're showing that they're winning games in different fashions. We would like to see them maybe get a blowout win because then it'll show like, okay, they could really light up the scoreboard. But again, yeah, just like you said, I think it's possible for the Seahawks and the Giants to make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
and I would even say, just looking at the landscape of things, it's it's more likely for a Seahawks team actually to make it at this point
Right.
because they have a pretty good shot at winning their division. Where the Giants, you do have the Eagles there, who are an unbeaten team, have been playing spectacular football so far. So now you're looking at a wild card spot. The Seahawks could outright win their division. At this point in time, it's not a stretch that they do that at all. In fact, they're probably projected to
To
win their
do that.
division at this point, right?
Yeah.
So we know they have a tough division with the 49ers there and the Rams there and things of that nature. But yeah, the Seahawks are a team that could, just take hold of that division and guarantee themselves a spot just by,
Just by winning that division outright.